Hi, this is Alan with Alan's Firearms, Guns Plus More, and today the FN P90. I just did the FN 5.7 pistol, and I told you it was part of a system, a personal defense system. This was the rifle we were talking about, the FN P90. It shoots the 5.7 by 28 round. NATO wanted a replacement for like the MP5s. So they developed this in 1990. In 1993, they redid it in the 5.7 by 28 round. This one is decked out with a rail for a sight or a scope. You can put on either. It's got a charging handle on the side. Uses these odd-looking magazines, but you can have a 50-round magazine with these. And I believe they even have a double stack where it's 100, and you can see how easy that is. You can just pull it out with your second hand, and you just pop it in, and it's in. There's enough room in here for a double stack, so you can have 100 rounds. You can have 100 rounds of firepower. Those 5.7 rounds, they're vicious. This gun can be held on your body underneath a jacket or something. Very easily moved around. Now this has got a longer barrel than the personal defense weapon because in this country it has to be at least 16 inches long to be considered a rifle. But this is pretty cool. It has an interesting front grip for your hand, so it wraps it around, gives you a nice positive feel when this is up against your body. It is really comfortable. It's odd looking, but it's really comfortable. Oh, it has a cool safety. The safety there's a rocker switch right in front of the trigger. We'll take a closer look at that at the workbench. So without any further ado, let's take this to the workbench, field strip it, clean it, lube it, and reassemble it. Okay, so here's the FN P90. This was designed to be a personal defense weapon. I talked about the whole history when I did the FN pistol, and I touched upon it at the beginning of this. The personal defense weapon that NATO requested to replace like the MP5, the 9mm type weapons. This uses a 5.7 by 28 round. It is very devastating round up close. It goes through body armor. This has there is, and you're not going to see it on here because it's just too small. There is a little peep sight here and a pin in the front, so when you look through it, it's like looking down a 22 with a little peep sight and a little post sight in here. But they do give you a rail, so you could put a small scope or red dot sight on here. Here's the charging handle. This is the magazine. It's see-through, so you can see how many rounds you have. It can be double stacked, so it can give you 100 rounds or 50 rounds. So to remove the mag, there's this little switch right back here, and you can just pull that and it lifts straight out. There's one on each side. It's ambidextrous. Here's the mag itself. This piece is what delivers the ammunition to firearm, and the ammunition is stacked this way, not this way. It's very interesting. So it gets to the front and it turns and drops into the gun. Did I miss anything? Oh, the safety, it's a rocker safety, which is pretty cool. You push it and it's on, you go like that and it's off. So, and it's ambidextrous. And so are the charging handles. They're ambidextrous. There's one on each side. Okay, so to field strip this, you need to, I'm going to rest the back stock against my stomach so I have some leverage. I'm going to pull back the charging handle. I'm going to wrap my thumb right around where the magazine goes in. I'm going to push this button and move this forward. Once I have that taken apart, I can tilt this forward and the bolt system will come out just like that. Then at that point I can remove by pushing up the butt pad. It's locked on until I get this out. This pin goes in there and locks it. Now I can remove the trigger system. All I do is tilt this and this little button will appear. I lift that up. I lift that up, and with my finger right on the top of this, I can have the leverage to pull it out. Okay, now keep in mind how this works. This little tab will move forward. You see that? How that? Poof. Then I can lift that, and it will unlock. You see that locking button right there? It'll unlock this. And there we have it. The FN field stripped. Okay, I'm going to put away the magazine for now. So I use strike hold. If you want to know more about strike hold, I have 2 videos online about it. So I'm going to spray a little bit. By the way, it's a CLP. It cleans, it protects, and lubricates. All I have to do is clean it with this, and I'm done. But for those of you who use the old-fashioned cleaners, I will show you how to lubricate it. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to wipe down all the interior parts with it and get them clean. I'm going to slide the bolt carrier back and get in here. Not the bolt carrier, the charging handle back and get in here. I'm going to get these rails underneath here. Forcing cone. Now remember, when you clean this, when you clean this firearm, make sure you go all the way through, right out the front. This rod's not long enough, so I'm not going to clean the barrel. So now that this is all cleaned, we're going to move on. Frame. So I'm going to get all this in here clean. Now, what you should know about this firearm is that it ejects from the bottom, and there is a little dust cover in here that you can close to keep the insides clean when you're running through the sands of the Middle East to kill Allah Akbar lovers. Okay, and what I would do is I would take a cleaning cloth, put it on here, get it through inside all over. I'm going to take this part and we're going to clean this. And this has got moving parts on it, so we're going to make sure we get this nice and clean and lubricated. Make sure I get the front of my battery clean. I'm going to take one of my little sticks and get in there. I don't use the sticks all the time, just most of the time. It's only when I'm working with tight places like this slot. There's no way I can get my fingers in there. But with this, I can get right into that slot. I'm going to push this down with my hand against the table. And that way I can wipe and lubricate these rails. Okay, so all that's left is this plastic part, which of course I'm going to wipe down with strike hold. I'm going to put 1 drop of oil right on this spring right in here on each side. And there's another spring right back there. I'm going to hit it with a drop of oil. Now I'm just going to soak up the excess, and the reason I put a little oil directly on those springs is it's no place to collect dirt. This is in the back of the gun, away from any thing that can really hit it with dirt. I'm just going to oil it out to protect it. Okay, and if you do get cleaner on here, you have to make sure you hit it with oil. Any place you put cleaner on it, you need to hit it with oil. If you don't, it's gonna, that cleaner, even if you wipe it off, it's gonna come back and it's gonna keep eating away at the plastics, because that's what that stuff does. Okay, so that's done with the cleaning. Now we have to go back and oil it. 1, 2, 3, 4 drops of oil. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to oil where it definitely needs lubrication, like these rods that run up and down and touch metal. These springs. And now I'm going to wipe down every place that I touched it with cleaner to deactivate the cleaner. That's what oil does. It deactivates cleaner. And this is all the oil you need, just on a cloth. You don't have to put any direct in, except for where I just showed you. Okay. Now, this system, I'm going to put 1 drop of oil right on here and right on there, right on the spring. And I'm going to move the spring up and down a few times. Then with this forward, I'm going to get in here with oil. I lift up the front of this so I can get right onto the whole handle that rides up and down on the metal. Wipe all this down because I hit it with cleaner. The forcing cone in the front. This all gets hit with oil. And then everywhere inside the main housing that I touched with cleaner, I have to hit with oil. So I'm wiping down the whole inside just the way I did it. So I touched this all with cleaner, so there we go. And there we have it. Oops. So we put it back together in the exact opposite order. We take this, we slide this in, we pull up the lock, and it slides right into the front. Let me do that again, make sure I got it actually. So you slide this in, you lift up the lock, and it goes right in. There you go. Now we can put this back down. We drop in our bolt system. The way you can tell whether you have it in right or not, this has the 2 big slots on the side. This has the big wedge in the middle. Wedge goes down, and it will fall right in. If it doesn't fall right in, then you know you didn't do it right. By the way, if that piece doesn't lock in, the lock doesn't pop in, you don't have that inserted right. Then we take this, we just line this up. It'll stop at that button. Push that button, pull this on. Let's do a function check. And it works. There we go. The PS90. By the way, you can also get a scope that goes in here. You can send this back to the factory and they'll install a scope. There is also in here an adjustment for the sight that's in here. And there you have it. Thanks for joining me for the P90. Please like and subscribe, and until next time.